Hello, Twitch.
Okay.
Long time, 2 weeks.
Dejanathan. Not, you're not Dejanathan. You're
Janathan.
Jacanathan. You're
What?
Jake. You're
Jacan. I'm Jacan. Jacan. Jake and Bacon.
Shaken bacon.
Oh, I'm Jake. I'm Jake and Bacon.
Okay, Jake. What happened last session, yeah?
Okay, so we descended to the planet, Ertham and Thurk, that is. And upon arriving there, we went to Ertham's house, and then Ertham left.
Yeah.
I picked up some local clothes, slept in the woods, found Death's child. Death's child grew up very fast, had a thesis defense.
Yeah.
Had a thesis defense. And that's about it. That's where we ended.
Right.
It doesn't sound like a lot, but it was 5 hours, I think.
It was a lot. It does, on paper, it doesn't sound like a lot. Okay. It is about a time. It is a time. Currently, Erethem is doing whatever in the other room. Serenity is doing whatever on the couch.
Doing
Inverna
whatever at the
up.
bottom of a door frame.
Inverna showed up as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, Inverna. Chat with Inverna.
Yeah.
I sold her soul to a new devil, and that devil is me.
Okay.
And if I don't get her a new body, I die.
I mean, that's a good way of putting it, yeah.
Alright. It was a lovely one, folks.
And there you go. That's the end of the campaign. Hope you liked it. See you next week. Okay, so you have to make this device. Big surgical device.
Plans.
Yes.
And we went back in time. We learned that too.
Yes.
Oh, and the ephemeral might be 3 of the most powerful gods.
Yes. The inner device is the rune, the outer is the tesseract, and the pyramid is called the foundation. You are off to see Mr. Fane Vandor, the White Wolf, the White Wolf of the Woods of Anemus, at a place called the Regal Dream. The secret club within the Regal Dream is called Corsair. The social club, you don't need a password, but for the secret club, you do need that password. Nightlife, or because everybody's nocturnal in these parts, is starting. It's going. It's happening.
All right.
People are starting to get up around twilight. City's starting to bustle. And your days have happened already. Serenity just kind of
spent 3 in real life hours speaking to Eretham.
Yeah. Serenity just kind of has her head like resting against the back of the couch, just sort of like processing what the frick happened.
Reasonable. What were the 3 constituent parts of the device?
So there was the foundation, which is like a pyramid at the bottom.
Okay.
Then there is the tesseract, which is like a cube-ish like thing that encompasses the inner device, which is called the rune.
Tesseract. It's a cube around. So it's like pyramid, small gap, device.
So pyramid,
Yeah.
outer shield
Okay, so it's
like
all
thing.
one thing connected.
Yeah.
Because I had this imagery in my head of it like floating above the pyramid.
Yeah.
It was locked there though. Okay.
That's what it
Tesseract.
is when it's activated. Not
Ah,
not a
and then the final part's the.
the rune. The rune, which is like the cube from like the Allspark.
Okay. Wait, so the Tesseract is also a cube?
Ish.
It's like the wireframe,
Yeah.
like what a Tesseract looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
You good.
And we're going for a gemstone for the pyramid, right?
You are going to a high level spellcaster. To help
With a
you.
jar.
Yeah, with the jar. A mason jar.
Oh, right. The jar has the mason jar has a star ruby in it.
Yeah.
Which is a spellstone.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Aerothem just sort of like told you that if you approach this white wolf with this task, they'll know what to do. The only reason why he's sending you is because the white wolf doesn't like seeing people twice. And so he can't visit anymore. Aerothem can't. Okay.
Am I able to speak with Aerothem real quick?
Yeah. Yeah. He's just tinkering in the back room and all.
Come over and do the thing where like even if the door's open, at least like knock on the the frame. Quick question.
Yes.
I make it a point of note to be prepared best I can. What happened last time you spoke to the white wolf?
I had someone with me. It's probably not going to sit well with you. But Thane likes to test whomever asks for this. Ask for his services. And in this case, a soul needs to be bound to the foundation. And it has to be one of a devout. Devout lineage or something. They have to be devout creature.
Devout in what way?
Morally clean. Maybe is a better way of putting it.
I see.
I don't know if he'll offer one to you. If you arrive without one.
Gosh, that's a very high price.
Yeah.
And it's not like making it Sunday either.
No.
Jeez.
I don't know what happens to them. They're taken away before the ritual starts. For exactly 12 hours. What I gathered is that Fane is testing their moral palette.
Thinking back to the first campaign,
Mm-hmm.
when the device was destroyed, the child's soul was released again.
Mm-hmm.
First time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how detailed his knowledge would be, but he'd at least know now of the pieces get put together a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh no, that might be different. Frick. Alright.
Do you have a clean soul you can offer to him? Maybe that
That's a
child.
very difficult one to do.
I think you have a good one in the other room. I heard that. I don't care.
Sorry. I've now had the experience of having to talk to myself, so
Yeah.
I feel your pain.
Yeah.
Does it require a soul?
Yes. Yeah.
Can I ask if you actually know the reasoning?
Rhea did. Rhea was the one interested in such things. I'd like to stay away.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the heads up.
Good luck.
Kind of just looking at everything and nothing. Just kind of starts to turn and walk away. Just kind of pondering it as he heads in the direction of the club.
What's your passive perception again?
23.
He has a small smile as you exit.
Fun. Do you mind if I run to the bathroom real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
I want to do this before we get into the thick of it.
Yeah. No worries.
So, I'm terribly sorry to start up the stream and then so soon be like, yeah, I got a dip.
Gotta go use your restroom.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
We game.
Or
Also,
game.
I have a question. Right?
What's good?
23 passive perception, 23 passive insight also. Was that a smile of... What was that a smile of? Just on a read.
Good effing luck. There is a lot of... He may not be... You don't know what's more worrying. The fact that you've never heard of White Wolf? Or the fact you've never heard of White Wolf?
Okay. I see. It's a very, difficult position he puts me.
Yeah, and it's also like... There's a lot of obstacles to get to him.
Okay.
And when you do, it's like... Again, good effing luck, you know?
Yeah. So it's like one does not simply walk into Mordor, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of what he's just presented me with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fun.
Funny, fun. Okay.
Yes.
As you're about to leave, Serenity goes, "Can I come with you?"
You did just overhear that conversation, right?
So?
The White Wolf wants a pure soul for the base.
Okay.
If you join me, I'm inclined to believe that he would choose he. My soul is not pure enough for that base, and if they were to kill me, it wouldn't be of use anyways. And
If he does, then we'll figure it out. It's okay.
Could you just not?
Yeah? I could. I want to go, though.
Okay.
You're the only person I know.
You did hear what I just said, though, right?
Yeah, no, but you're like the only person that I know. Like now. And I don't want to be here with Mr.
This is a nice village. The people are very kind. You could just make another friend.
Okay.
Don't follow me. Just say that and then follow me.
Fine.
Do I even have to roll insight?
Go for it. You have passive, so maybe not.
Passive 23?
Yeah, maybe not.
Can she deceive that?
You think she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that implies.
You're like pretty sure.
Just... I like New Death. Alright. You seem wonderful. Mother seems wonderful.
That sounds...
Please.
That's the most...
Please. Please don't follow me.
Okay.
Listen, I've probably angered several gods. Please don't cause me to anger one of the nice ones. One of the few that might even still exist that are left.
That's a question for another time. But okay.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, he'll walk out, finally.
She'll just walk out
He
too.
just gives a nod. Ah! I'm not able to be rid of you, am I?
Huh? Oh, no, I was about to go to the tavern.
Okay. Start walking.
She's gonna keep following.
She just keeps following.
Yeah.
He's gonna follow me all the way.
The tavern also just happens to be this social club, so.
How old are you?
I don't know.
How old does she look?
Maybe like 16?
You said like her. Isn't a tavern a bit of a Isn't that something for like someone who's a little more on in years? You know, it's not like they give you any of the.
Fine, Dad, I'll go back. And she just kind of like stomps off.
He says like sad. He's a little upset that he's become a parent. But he's also like, you know, if I'm going into the lion's den, I'd prefer to just go alone.
Yeah.
So that works with me.
Okay. You continue through the now awakening village in the night. The golden glow of people's inside candles are gently illuminating the forest. Rather well, actually. To the point to where it's like they don't need streetlights, they just need to be awake. Sort of thing, you know? And as you start moving down this one long stretch of sort of like the central trail, you start to approach a looming dark building that kind of casts an uneasy feeling onto you. A couple of reasons why. It is quite out of the influence of the golden glow of those candles. And two, the last time you approached a warehouse-like structure in a forest, you were in the blend, and you saw some very unsavory things inside. That hits you. And
It occurs to me I'm still in Gala clothes too, and at this point I'm just committing to it.
you got.
I purchased them but never changed because I felt weird. Because if I'm at Eretham's place, I'm changing my clothes at Eretham's place. If I'm out in the woods, the trees have eyes.
Trees have eyes.
So ultimately, I'm just gonna stick with the little kobold in Gala clothes. I don't know what this kind of social club's like, but you know, maybe I'll get lucky.
There are people walking toward this club, and they don't have candles to help light their way through the forest toward it. Sort of odd in that aspect.
Is there any like marking that's
No.
like, hey, this is the place. Okay, cool.
No. You get to the door. A line is formed, and it's just a metal, rusty old door on the side of this warehouse. No lights are illuminating the outside. People are standing in line. Can't really make out. Oh yeah, dark vision. You can. It's sort of like I don't know. It's. They don't look necessarily to be like the most upstanding of folk, but they're not like hobos. Okay, so it looks like they have like. What I wrote it down in my notes. They're like celebrities with a drug problem. So you can definitely tell, like, some like drug problem, like to the point where you can like tell, like they're basically a skeleton walking around. Their skin's not necessarily that great, and that's only for the more drastic of the folk. Some are very well groomed.
I got lucky.
Yeah. And
okay. I guess I'll get in line.
Yeah. Slowly they enter one by one, about 5 minutes to 10 minutes apart.
Do I ever see anyone walking out or away?
No.
Cool.
You see a little like eye hole, like an eye level door on the door open up, have a brief conversation, and just let people in. As closer and closer you get, you start seeing that the eyes on the other side are strangely not of an elf, which is odd coming from these woods. They're not of any race you've seen just on the daily walking through Calantham, but rather it is a face of a Fornagil. And Balar species.
Gotcha.
And the
Tree
eyes...
people?
Yeah. The eyes are... Unlike what you saw in Balar and Garwin and Balar's were golden.
Mm.
And they emitted a certain light. These
They-
seem shrouded.
Hmm.
A more orange, like.
Do Fornagil have circular pupil, or do they have something else?
Like a gloss, almost. Like how like a tiefling would have like a fully...
Oh, it's
yeah.
all one
Yeah, one color.
monochromatic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gotcha. Interesting.
And so these seem orange and sort of like soiled, almost.
Fallen from grace.
Yeah.
Ironic.
You can't hear the conversations, even when you know they're talking just in front of you.
Might be casting message. Just stand on the other side of the door and point.
They get to you. Opens. You're about there for about an hour. Opens the eye holes at the top, looks around. The guy behind you just goes. And
yeah, he tries to throw a hand up. It doesn't even make it up high enough to matter.
No. And you hear it shut close. Another one opens around your height.
It's probably built for halflings, so it's still like
Yeah.
he's still like on his tiptoes.
You can see it's just him crouching down, like in like a squat almost. And you hear in your mind, where do you travel?
Where do you travel?
Mm-hmm.
Does it seem like he's looking for like a
No.
anything? Just kind of a give me an answer.
Yeah.
To where I'm needed.
Are you friend or foe?
I'm debating. I really want to say foe. Because the obvious answer is friend.
Mm-hmm.
But... foe.
Do you dream or do dreams come to you?
Dreams come to me.
It closes. The door opens just enough where you can squeeze through by like shimmying in. I need you to make a con save.
Ah, frick me. Alright. At least it's really make sure there's nothing I can do to improve this. It won't matter. 9.
Okay. You buckle walking through that door as you're instantly hit with a wall of fog. It's almost like you lose sight of that being who talked to you at the door. It's almost like they just disperse. If you reach out your hand, they're just gone. And
time for another mind trip.
you hear the slight ringing of slightly out of tune violins, the singing of a honestly way too overqualified for this position opera singer. Just faint echoes. And you hear in like a mix of languages, but they're all languages you know, and it utilizes all of them. And I'm talking like halfway through the sentence, or even just a couple words, it just switches. It takes you it takes you a moment to like follow it, but like you kind of understand, but in English, obviously.
You toss some thieves' cant in there, and then it's like, llamas in a row because ducks are fast on Tuesday. And it's like, that one didn't make. Oh, thieves' cant.
Oh yes. Do not stand in at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on the snow. And then you hear more clearly that opera singer and then the violins. You get to see, you're regaining some of your sight as you are walking through the club now. It's like, oh wait, how did I get here from the entrance?
There was a door, and now there's not a door.
Yeah. You can still see that this fornagel back at the door is very, almost like corroded. I don't know how to say it. Like, it's decayed almost. It looks very unhealthy, like a dead tree almost. And it's hunched. Its movements are slow, and it makes, the creaking of wood as it moves. Club is strangely empty for the amount of people you saw go in. Strangely.
Real parties in the back.
But it does look like there is a maze of private rooms across this social club. This main area, though, seems to be a little dead. There are people of the unsavory sort leaning back, chin up, maybe not dressed appropriately, very scant clothing, drinks riddled across their table, their eyes glossed over in that same orange. As their faces track you.
All of them?
Some of them.
Oh, God.
The opera singer you now see is a very tall, it looks like it would have been a person. Have you seen those people who, like, they work out, but it doesn't really show how toned they are?
Yeah.
It looks like they're very gentle, but, like, they can rip you to pieces, sort of thing. You see
You ever seen a rock climber?
Yes, that's actually a really good way of putting it. A crimson tiefling is the opera singer. Crimson hair that drips down to around her lower thighs at the back. The only thing she's wearing is this, like, very thick, almost like blanket with furry edges, just draped over her. You can't see anything. It's just... Yeah. The violinists aren't violinists. It's just violins in the air with a bow. Doing.
Does it seem like a lady on stage is controlling them, or is it? It's just happening.
It's just happening.
No way of telling. All right, cool.
Then you hear again. No fog. This is just an audible thing. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush. And that's... So essentially there is a higher level surrounding a lower pit-like thing. And the opera singer is in like a pedestal in the center. What would you like to do?
And there's no other like doors or...
No.
Am I on upper or lower level?
You find yourself kind of just looking up at the opera singer, so lower level.
Okay. Quick scan. People are watching me. I'll watch some people. Is anyone...
They look high out of their minds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Most people.
Yeah, you can see...
They're looking at me and they're like, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
What's that Komodo dragon doing
It's
here?
a Komodo dragon. But yeah, you can see like a thick kind of smoke layer covering the roof.
Is it something like Snood, which we have seen before, or is it something different?
Totally different.
Okay.
This looks more like a meditative kind of high, like what weed might do to you, but a lot more intense and encompassing. Yeah.
Doing a, I don't know how to describe it besides in lucid dreaming term. Doing a reality check, right?
Like pinching yourself?
Yeah, no, not pinching yourself, but more commonly like checking your hands, checking your reflection will reveal sort of a more opportune inconsistency.
Yeah. You have
Does
5
anything...
fingers.
I've 5 fingers per hand?
Yeah.
Gosh, I've grown a finger. No, I'm kidding.
Finger.
Actually, if he did have 5 fingers per hand, he would have grown a finger. So...
Yeah.
He counts 5 per hand?
Yeah, because I know that they have 4, right?
Yeah, 4.
Yeah,
so...
Yeah, you have an extra one, so it's
something,
not like...
Something's a little weird.
Something's a little off, yeah.
Okay.
You can see the tiefling, though, who's singing, doesn't seem to be affected by this.
Well, you're in it enough. Anyway. How does it look like you get up to the upper level?
There's, like, stairways at the back and the front that just kind of go up.
We'll kind of pass and see if he can make his way to the upper level.
Okay.
Just to get a little bit more of an aerial view.
You do. And the outside walls are lined with books. The center, you can see the opera singer is standing on a symbol of a tree. You could sort of recognize this. It is a kind of messed up, kind of uncanny rendition of Mios' symbol, which is commonly referred to in common as the Tree of the Everlife. Not the Everlight, the Everlife.
Everlife, yeah.
Yeah. Or, its more common name is the Even Star. That's the bridge.
Is it... Okay. Is it more the same up here?
Mm-hmm.
Just tables and whatnot?
Yeah.
Are there any spare spaces, like tables?
Oh yeah, most of
that
them
are
are
like
vacant.
populated?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll take up one somewhere where... Does it, like, I've not seen servers or anything, right?
No, you have not.
Is it each of these just like a hookah table kind of deal? or like has anyone been drinking or anything in here? But
Well, they
somehow
they have
everyone
they have
is
some glasses down on their tables. Yeah.
okay. But at like empty tables there's nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Somehow they're getting blazed out of their minds. I'm just trying to figure out where. He'll go and take up a table.
It's the dollar store. How good can it be?
Look, Dad, it's the good Kush. This is the dollar store. How good can it be?
You sit down, and immediately before you stands a elderly, like well kept, definitely a highborn butler-ish elf.
Oh. Is this area commonly elven?
Yeah.
Elves are most common, period, aren't they?
Yeah, but most of their older generations live in the woods of Anemus, so
Gotcha.
yeah. And this
But we're
one-
not in the woods of Nemus, right?
You are, yeah, you are.
Oh, is this just a particular place then?
Yeah.
Right, this would just be like a town in the... Okay, never mind.
So, immediately, like a hologram flickering on just in front of you. Doesn't even look at you. Your order today?
I want to snap and say the usual, but that would do literally nothing here. Water for now. If you have it.
Without even just when you blink and it's there on the table.
Hmm.
Anything else?
How do you pronounce the password? Eva?
Mm-hmm.
Eva?
I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about.
Just interested in those new ships flying about.
I'm afraid
No,
I
that'll
don't
be
know
it.
what you're talking about.
Never mind. Thank you.
Disappears. With a water glass in front of you.
Patise's never drank. This whole campaign, he hasn't drank. Anon drank more than Patise. That's saying something. What? There's no like equivalent. There's not like, hey, can I get a club soda? Can I get a root beer? Right? I'd love to say. I think Patise would absolutely drink root beer, but there's not root beer in Clam. You know, there's not soda. There's not like fizzy drinks like that. And if they do exist, they probably have cocaine, like Coke, Coca-Cola. So maybe not the best you know, I'm not looking to replace one addiction with another right now.
There you go.
So he'll sit and watch the show, I guess. Is it just like is it a complete circle? Because my brain flips to like there's a stage, curtains, and then little platform that comes out to the central place where the opera singer is.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so there is some more
Mm-hmm.
that direction.
Yeah.
But okay.
You start noticing, well, closer look at this opera singer, that she has scars all over her body. Where she moves in this, like, magical and ethereal way, the blanket shifts in some areas, and you see that her back is riddled with what seems to be whip scars from a whip. Her arms, whether it has been done by herself or others, riddled with scars. It almost looks as bad as like a blood hunter's.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and just even sometimes on her face, like she actually has like these almost like decorated scars where it goes down, like it follows her jawline. It goes up and follows her cheekbones down, and like swirls on top of on her forehead and such.
This is what I should have asked Aratham. I should have just been like, hey, Alright, what's the catch? How the frick do I get into the secret area, the already secret club in the secret village in the secret woods?
In the secret woods. Yeah, no.
Just the woods of Anemus. Secret enough!
Do you take a sip of the water?
Screw it, yeah, he would. He's got no reason to be sus of it unless it's like brown.
Best water have you ever had? It's very strange to say, but it tastes clean. It's refreshing.
Ice water, man?
It's nice.
Nowhere else in Clan.
Not just tap, bro. It's not just tap. It's Dasani. Fuji water, in fact. As you do, you hear of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die.
That's what the first set of things was, right?
Yeah.
No, that was different.
I can send you the thing.
Yeah, can you send me what you've already said?
Bonk.
I feel like that's important, but I haven't been able to keep up with it entirely.
I'm gonna put it in Bonk. It's in your personal channel at the bottom. I need you to make a wisdom save.
Pog.
Poggy Woggy.
Woggy Woggy Wisdom, oh my. We're about to start calling Patisse sessions the Mighty Nine.
Oh, is it 9 again?
Yep.
Bruh.
Plus 3 con, plus 3 whiz. Let's go.
You are kind
You
of...
die.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh no.
You know that... Okay. You know the end... Toward the end of the Clone Wars, back when they didn't release a new season, there was that Ahsoka arc thing where Ahsoka was like wanted by the council and whatnot because she, I forgot the reason why, but Ahsoka was on the run.
Yeah.
And near the end, where she got captured, she was put on trial in this like cylinder, very tight room where like these like 8 or so figures stood above her, like 20 feet up on the cylinder.
Vaguely?
Okay, well, what I just described sort of happens to you. You're at like in a spotlight down in the center of the cylinder, and above you stand the following. Manasseh, Eris,
Oh, of course.
Arya, Sylvie, Adler, Thavo, Charlie. Jesus, I was. Oh man,
Charlie.
dang, that was really hard. I was thinking cloud. No, that's not it. That's not it.
Other C.
Yeah, other C. Charlie.
Charlie spelled with a K. What?
And they just kind of look down on you. It's kind of intimidating. It's not really the sight you want to reunite with them. It fades very quickly. And when you come out of it, the opera singer finishes her song on a strong note that echoes through the hall, adjusts the blanket, gives you an eye, walks backstage.
Me specifically, or do I see anyone else moving?
Just you.
I see. Can I see, like, the gap between the curtains?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make a perception.
Hey, I've long rested, right?
You should have, yeah.
Okay, I think I've not done that.
Okay.
'Cause I should have all my resources. Okay. Perception?
Mm-hmm.
Finally, we're doing better.
9.
9. If I somehow got a 9 when I have a plus 13, something went very wrong. 27.
27. You see a gloved hand outstretch, and she gently grabs it, as you escort a lady down the stairs or whatnot. Some of them sort of like that. She descends down, so it's not like just a backstage. She just goes down. The blanket, falls gently behind her.
Kind of softly whispering the words to himself. Once he's within range, he just kind of misty steps in.
Okay.
Instead of crossing the stage.
Okay.
Or is there like some set of discreet stairs or something?
No.
Literally. I'd have to just get up on stage and.
Yeah. I mean, you could. I mean, from your vantage point, you can definitely misty step in if you'd like.
Yeah. He looks around, right? Because misty step, by the way, is only verbal components.
I see. Okay.
So that's why I'm saying whispering the words to himself.
Yeah.
He whispers them to himself, holds it, right? Gives everyone a look, and then poof, into a brief cloud of smoke that dissipates. Which in here I don't think would draw too much attention. Dude, that man blazed it.
Hey, dude, hotbox. You appear on the other side of that curtain as it closes. And they have reached the bottom of the stairs, about 20 stairs. And there is a light down below, very dim, as she enters. You can see a brief glimpse of the person who grabbed her hand. A very kind of to the middle of the back, long, white, seriously pale white hair. And kind of wearing a winter's coat, almost. But it's not too bulky. It has white fur on the inside. And seemed to be very, really skinny, very thin individual. As you disappear into that fog, that mist, and reappear, the moment in between, you're flashbanged with that last meeting you had with Sylvie.
Oh.
Pretty severely.
Okay.
It's
a complete recounting of
you had that conversation just again.
In the 10th of a second, it's okay.
Kind of you kind of re get your bearings a little bit. What would you like to do?
There was stairs and there was a door, right?
Yep.
Do the stairs and then the door.
Okay. Stairs, door.
Stairs, door, lock.
It is
lock. Pick. Unlocked.
If you do attempt to grab the doorknob, you can.
I look up. Does it have any like sliding features like the other door?
No.
I'll knock first.
Okay.
No, you know, I have such, oh gosh. I feel weird because I don't know what exactly is on the other side of this door, right? There might just be a bunch of people fine dining, right, and being very quiet and discreet, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Very cordial, and then they just hear dum, dum, dum. And I'm like, but this doesn't entirely seem like that kind of place. But I don't know that. So paralyzed for a second or two, he just is like, try the doorknob first, sure.
Okay.
Don't try the doorknob, knocks.
You knock?
He knocks.
You knock, and you see a sliver of light come from behind you, and like cast your shadow on the door. And a silhouette. You look back. A silhouette in golden light is behind you, and they say, in your mind, it's the Fornagel. You can tell by the silhouette. Do you scuttle with the rats?
You scuttle like in a accusatory tone, or just like?
Almost like he's asking you more questions, like he did.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Do you bathe in the sun or the dark?
The dark.
What is the word of passage?
Eva.
He gently closes the curtain and the door just cracks open.
Okay. I'll enter.
Okay.
I'm uncomfortable. I'm questioning a lot of things. You know that sense of like, you ever gone to a place you've not really ever been before, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not like something really important, right? Or whatever. But you're still like, am I supposed to be here?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, the first time I went to a friend's house from youth group, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were just like, I just was like, all right, I'm here. Can I just come in?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, front door's unlocked. And I was like, okay.
Okay. Yeah. No, I've
And
seen
like,
that before.
you
Yeah.
get there and you like enter through the front door and you're like,
Nobody's there to
it'd
greet
be
you.
really weird if I was in the wrong house. No,
Yeah.
it's not weird, right? Because then the first person you see is not the person you meant
Yeah.
you were coming here to see,
Yeah.
right? It's their mother,
Yeah. Right.
right?
Yeah.
But you walk in and they look at you and they're like, "Hi," you know, and then they like say your name and you're like, "I guess I'm in the right place."
Yeah. But what if it wasn't?
Well, I've been playing D&D with the wrong group for a very long time, and they look very similar to some of my other friends.
Oh, dang, okay.
Yeah, that's all they do down here. They play D&D.
Dude, that's a
That'd be
love
an
death and
excellent-
romance sort of thing right there. Shoot, like you always go to the house adjacent, but it's like they're playing.
And
The real group is playing D&D across the street,
Yeah.
and you're going to a house that is playing.
You know what makes it
D&D.
even worse,
What?
right? You know, you're with these copies, right? They are the fakes,
And you have a
but
copy
your
of them.
fake
Yeah.
your fake is playing with them. You have to ask yourself, am I the real one? I can see the creepypasta now.
Yeah, right.
I was playing D&D with what I thought was my friends.
You open the door.
Oh, did you have a falling out? No, they were imposters.
You open the door, and you see like 12 Among Us characters huddle around
Oh my god.
an emergency meeting button.
Please tell me this is not. Frick sees that, closes the door. Clantham can die. Clantham can die. I'm fine. You know, it's a good run.
Good fun.
This is the final season. I'll just end myself before the ephemeral can do it.
You see a. This is like the front bit was like a quarter of the warehouse, or about half of it. This next bit looks like they dug about how tall the warehouse was into the ground, but had the warehouse roof over it still. And you see the warehouse roof has decayed a bunch.
Is it like tin or wood or?
Like a mix. It just kind of looks like it was thrown together.
In wood.
It was just kind of thrown together. And you see suspended in midair is this kind of this room. It doesn't like conform to like it's a square. It's a cube. It's a cube room. It's more like looks like a sea urchin almost, which is like very strange. Yeah.
Like with each like in dimensionality, it looks like it's got spines of like dimensionality.
And you see two couches. They're curved around a kind of oval coffee table-ish thing. You see what you presume to be the opera singer kind of strewn about one couch, very sexy-like, with the blanket kind of like covering about half of her. Respectfully,
it's modest for what you're seeing.
Exactly, yeah. And then what you presume to be the White Wolf, the person who grabbed her hand, is sitting on the other side, the other couch, kind of like, you know those times where like, essentially what you're seeing right now is like, you know those times in games where you're just like sitting back, you know, relaxing, and it gets like kind of intense, so you like sit forward almost, like you're that's essentially what you just see happen. But it's in
the conversation gets interesting.
Yeah, so you sit up sort of like, you know, I'm in this now. Below is almost like this insanely psychedelic rave. And it's the most uncanny, weird, what am I watching sort of thing. It is just this mosh pit of just people.
There's no music. It's dead silent too.
No, exactly. Yeah. It's dead silent. You can't even hear their bodies moving. The ground, the footsteps on the ground. And they all have these orange glossed over eyes. And the White Wolf, almost like he knows. Well, your passive insight, he definitely knows. Looks down at you, through the floor, because it's glass-ish, and sees you at the entrance. And the next thing you know, you're just standing beside him. The Crimson Tiefling looks like she's seen this a million times. Doesn't even flinch. He kind of scoots over onto the crack of the cushions. Sit with business, yeah? On the crack, specifically. Yep. Sit on the crack, it's most comfy.
This is me trying to just absorb what has happened now. He does.
Okay.
And just pulls out the jar. I think this is the business you'd be referring to.
Before you hold out the jar, he puts out his hand. To grab the jar before you even have that thought of bringing out the jar.
Bonk.
He grabs it, places it down. I would like to get to know you first, if you do not mind. I'd like to see who I am doing business with. Petit say? Othric?
Or Corvus, if you want to go that far back.
I think we both know you don't like using that anymore.
Not really, no. I go by Thurkoanaki most of the time now.
Yes.
At least that's what it says from a legal name.
Do you have proper identification on you?
Closest I have is my library card.
Of course. Were you in Clivis when it burned?
Yeah.
It's almost like sometimes he's just not even looking at you. He doesn't really care for the answer.
So
With your insight, it's because he knows the answer already. It's almost like he's just asking these questions. And it's not like he's done research on you. That's the thing, though. That's what's like kind of offsetting about this. He doesn't research.
Thurk, as he's like answering, right? Just as the intonation strikes him, just does the mind flash a few times.
He doesn't look.
Just like a flutter. All right.
No, this is not a mind invader. It doesn't look.
Yeah. Just to see if it drew anything.
Yeah. I was there. I think I might have been the last person in Clivis after that attack. Unless there were any caught. More unfortunate.
Wretched city. Hated it. Not for the reasons that some may think. Laurelin is quite the scum, but I had some rivals in that city, not going to lie. The Clockwork. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
because I can't do it. Obviously. In some instances, he says the same exact things you're saying as you say it, with the inflections of your voice and the way you say it. From his voice, though. Obviously, I can't do that.
Yeah.
But he does it pretty perfectly with you.
Is it like
disinterested.
is it everything, or is it
Some things.
Here, there? Okay.
Yeah.
he does it when it strikes him, but it's not.
Yeah.
Super conscious.
Sometimes it's more of like a whisper. He does it as well. Yeah.
I think of do you remember the scene in Dune at the Spice Crawler? Because I think Sandcrawler. I don't remember its actual name. The Spice Harvester.
Yeah.
Right? Where he was kind of like going loopy, and then just under his breath muttered, "I didn't recognize your steps anywhere, old man."
Yeah.
That's kind of how I imagine this guy right now.
Absolutely.
Okay. Is it, out of curiosity, is it seem more like it's disinterest, or is it
both?
It's interest, but I know already.
Yeah, both.
Okay.
The disinterest seems to come from the I know already sort of deal.
Predictability.
It's like he's disinterested in the present because he's already experienced it, sort of thing.
That's a philosophical conundrum right there. What is the present? Anyways, let's discuss what the present is at a later date.
Do you have a soul? One that you're willing to cast in that?
I don't have one that I'm particularly willing to cast into it, no. But I am curious why a soul is necessary.
Depends on what you want this for. Just because multiple uses.
Well, no, what is the quality of a soul?
The quality.
Arcanic. Yeah, in arcane practices. You know, I've seen it, heard of it. Maybe is a better word for it. No, I've seen it too, on multiple occasions. Why is it though that a soul is necessary? Is it like fuel for the fire, or is it just
No.
a different component?
It is not fuel. It's far from it, actually. It's a dampener.
Ooh.
For some things. Depends. But for your case, it is dampener. You can tell his accent's actually coming from Infernal. It's an Infernal accent.
Hmm.
He himself appears human.
Okay. Just pale and skinny?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, the person who sent you, Ethem, he came to me a while ago. Do you know who he brought? That devilish man.
His sister?
Yeah. That is the kind I like. The man that's willing to do that, that is what I do it for. I don't care what happens with this machine or whatever. But he's clearly driven enough to do that for. I also even did it a favor because I liked him so much.
Trying to think. I don't know how much of the thinking time would translate to my character necessarily.
If it takes longer than like maybe 5 seconds, he'll say what you say before you say it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Artham mentions you don't like seeing people twice.
No, it's boring. I learn a lot about the person at the time I have with him. Experiencing them once again is a time waster.
Does it seem like he's just a very particularly high insight character?
No.
Kind of person? No. Interesting. Almost passively, Thurk just kind of rolls his fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Does a count. While he's kind of in thought.
Could a dampener be made out of something that's not a soul?
This happens to be the more humane option.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How?
If I told you I had to kill you. That's just, it's a jest. No. No, it's just easier. You trust me, you don't want 3-4 important spellcasters in the same room. We don't get along. Actually, you know, a lot of important people in Calendum don't get along.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I know.
Seems to be the MO here.
I haven't done Patisse just getting weird with how he speaks with someone in a while now. This almost feels like the golden opportunity.
is that? Why do you, anyone else, why doesn't no one just, enjoy a pleasant chat with T anymore?
It's boring.
How could it be boring?
What'd you say? Sorry.
How could it be boring?
Frivolous small talk. It's useless. They're just going to say the same thing that they want you to know. You're never going to get them to say something that they don't want you to know. But you know that what they are saying to you in the current isn't the truth. 75% of the time. But you see what they're doing in like high political spaces, troop movements and policy changes. It's stupid. So I'm afraid I can't help you if you do not have a soul.
Ah, frick me.
What happens to the soul?
I'm afraid that it's only for the soul to know.
Not even you.
Oh, I know what happens.
Frick me. Well, I'm here empty-handed. So...
I don't offer this to anybody. But if you are willing to pay a price, you can choose one of those poor fellows down there. And they will
Still,
be sent in.
questioning a lot of things right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I need a soul, right? Even if a clean soul, right? Yeah. Which I'm not gonna assume those down there aren't. Maybe there's something unique about this place. I just know that in the case of Insinde, you have to practically, take the soul while it's still in the womb to get it to actually be pure.
Mm-hmm.
Or you get something like Mel for some reason. Which I still don't quite understand what the difference between a clean and an unclean Insinde are.
That's good, actually. Good.
You mentioned dampener, but don't quite comprehend that yet. But even thinking about it, Syria's child doesn't have a soul. So that wouldn't even work.
He's gonna go on.
Huh?
He's gonna go on and say something that might
Go ahead.
maybe help. I don't know. But he says, in a way, you get to take part in some sliver of history. Almost like he's starting a sales pitch for the people down there. Are you aware? And I swear, people are trolling, man. It's happening so often now. This happens so often that it's just like, bruh, it doesn't happen in the main sessions.
You gotta bring up the other one. You gotta bring up like the channel on like your other screen just to double check it.
I have it right here on my third thing right here. Yeah, there we go. Stay. Okay.
Let me try something.
Part of me thinks it's just like some rando who sees this, sees nobody's in the channel, is like, oh, it's just plain. I'll stop it, and it's like no consequence.
There's no rando here, right? Everyone knows.
I don't know,
Like,
Jake.
the only rando would be like Christian, and Christian doesn't give a frick. He doesn't even know this is happening.
I don't know.
He hardly knows this server exists.
But he says, you get to take part in some sliver of history. If you ever interested in the the vulgar, vile Gentoo. Brilliant man he was. He I'm sorry. I just thought of the meme that DJ made yesterday about one character complimenting another one of my characters.
Yeah.
Whatever. Brilliant man.
Jamie just loves compliments. Oh yeah. Number one, baby.
Brilliant man.
I'm so cool that I'm so cool.
Only mortal to make a race. A full-blown race. One that actually loved us. You could do that too. You
Not
know.
really interested in making a race or being remembered in the history books.
Crimson here. He points across to the tiefling.
You didn't need to do that, but yeah.
I mean, he just do it. Crimson here. She has a perfectly worthy soul inside. She kind of just is taken back for a moment, and she like puts a hand on her belly. Like your inside is like, how dare you offer up my child? Like, what is wrong with you? Does that interest you at all?
Not particularly.
Suit yourself. I have nothing else to offer you.
I need an extra second because I'm trying to remember everything. So, Tiefling Lady's child, potentially Zaria's daughter, which I can't imagine that I couldn't just choose that person and they not show up here. Or a rando from the crowd.
Yeah.
I am very conflicted and confused, and that's the point. But Rhea is still around. Ish.
Let me harken back to say he did a favor.
He did a favor?
For Erethem, because he liked him so much. That's all I'm going to say on that matter, I think.
And it was just Erethem being driven is why this person was so interested?
I think it was the matter of, like, the fact that he was willing to just be like, hey, here's my sister. You know, that's the reason. Like, there's respect in that regard.
It's about efficiency.
It's about efficiency.
Gosh, I've got such a weird, like... I've got such a weird question that I feel the need to ask.
Go ahead, dude.
I'm trying to think of, like, the like, souls that would potentially be pure that I might know. Right?
Okay.
Does the soul have to be tied to a body?
No, that's just to be a soul.
There has to be a soul.
Just has to be a soul. The bonus
Ye-
points if it comes with the body, yes.
But it's not necessary.
I would prefer it. But no, technically not.
He tilts his head towards the man. Would he be all-knowing enough to understand potentially who Uthric is thinking of?
Would you say it at some point in this conversation?
If it didn't have to be said, no. But he would conjure up the name and then be about to say it.
No, he wouldn't.
Okay. So he wouldn't know immediately?
No.
What about Insignia?
Insignia. I don't know an Insignia. You should
Really?
a particularly clean one.
Put it this way. Some other bits of the soul kind of got in the way. There might be a clean part left.
We're not looking for a clean part.
Damn. I'm just trying to think of characters right now, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Weirdly choosing Insignia was like almost a, in theory, winning potentially twice. By choosing that, you potentially could gather Insignia into a place, and then bring them back potentially at a later date, but who knows at this point? Not Insignia. Who do we know? There's a lot of dead people.
Might I add this?
About the mermaid.
May I say this? Their actions do not mean to be pure, but their soul does. There is a difference. Their actions don't necessarily soil it, though it's common knowledge.
What soils a soul? What soils a soul then?
What do you think soils a soul?
A hard one.
Exactly.
I'd imagine it to be almost subjective for the purpose.
Exactly.
So, for this purpose, what stops that?
What? Sorry?
For this purpose, what doesn't soil a soul?
Oh, what doesn't soil a soul?
Yeah. And actions, actions of soiling could potentially... Okay. I have to use the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
Alright, no worries.
I'm sorry, I got a nosebleed and was away a lot longer than I wanted to be. I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
I forgot we were streaming for a big while of that, so it was just me looking down at my phone for a solid.
Oh, you're not entertaining all of our no chat members?
Yeah, man. Hey, what's up? No chat?
Actually, let me at least pull up the stream. Snowblood OW is streaming D&D. Yeah. D&D Beyond.
Copyright.
Alright. Copyright? It's just free advertising. I don't think they're gonna pull anything. Oh yeah, we made so much ad revenue, right? Because we played someone else's ad.
Yeah.
Right. Oh. With all our viewers, and that one viewer being me.
We had one view even before you just
Oh.
opened up.
You.
No.
Oh.
Somebody.
Concern. D&Ders and Cult of Dragon's Moon, get out of here. Alright, we're back. And we're back.
Way back. What happened last? What did I say last? Something?
I have to sacrifice a child's soul.
Oh.
Or one of the people below.
Oh, what soils a soul?
Oh, what soils the soul? Yeah.
Subjective. What doesn't soil a soul, you say? Was the last one for you.
What doesn't soil soul? I mean, it's subjective, right? So
Yeah.
So what's a soul that isn't soiled in this case? What are its qualities?
That's not for me to decide. He points to Crimson. It is hers. It's her duty.
Well, turning to her.
How do you quantify it?
With his own... the same accent, I guess. That is just a higher voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just start making noises.
That is only for me and the soul to go through. And if you're not going to volunteer yourself, then I suppose you'll never know.
Can I volunteer myself and still walk out of here?
They kind of just look at each other.
I look at both of them. They look at each other, I look at both of them.
No.
Ah. But you do need a... I know this sounds like a strange question, but you do need a soul
Yes.
tied to a mortal body.
Mhm. Now can you see?
Me?
Hmm?
I was just gonna say, me, genuinely, I'm actually having a very hard time even figuring out who is even... Because I imagine that Seria's child doesn't quite count. To my knowledge.
To your knowledge.
And I can't really think of any other souls.
Oh, this brings me so much joy.
I guess he's just sort of sitting there with like a... Who do I know? kind of face.
Racking through your brain, to see who could possibly take this place. But I think you need to think to yourself, Are you willing to subject them to that? Because all I need is someone's permission, not particularly their consent.
You like flashbanged me with something that's almost an oxymoron, but not quite.
Yeah.
Uh. I want to say it. But I don't know if I trust it.
Go ahead.
Manasseh.
What about Manasseh?
You see these names and I don't know who you're talking about.
Very odd.
He was.
No, you. But him, to some degree. When I'm from, he's deceased. Give it a short while and he will be again.
Where is he?
How long's it been since that ship was taking off?
A day.
So what, he's probably
In the slip.
several hundred light years away.
Few hundred parsecs. That direction.
I need them here.
On the planet.
In the room.
In the room. But they don't need a body.
Again, I prefer it. But... technically, no. Might hinder some performance. Just so we're transparent with one another.
That's great. That's rich coming from him right now. Why does everything have to be so vague? It's vague but clear. Gosh, I just wish, though, asking straightforward questions, I could get straightforward answers for once. Trying to just gauge how much he knows and doesn't know. Because it's weird, because he doesn't know certain people, but he's like, you were there for thing. There were clockwork. You dealt with clockwork. But he doesn't know who Insignia is, right? It's a very strange delineation between knowing generals and knowing accurates.
Yeah.
But being only so accurate, it's I feel like just saying serious child, because a part of me doesn't want to deal with this anymore. But I don't know any other direction to take this.
With your passive perception, about now you see a new person enter into the club.
It's them.
Yeah. They're about 16. There is a tall man guiding her around. Sorry, no.
Aratham.
It's not Aratham. It's
There's a tall man.
the Fornagil.
You see that?
Interesting, huh? How things work. And they just appear in the room. Fornagil doesn't. He walks out. Serenity, he's there in the room now. She goes, "Hi."
Hi.
I know you told me not to come, but just curiosity, you know?
You know what that full saying is?
What?
Kills the cat.
The cat in this scenario, I think. What?
I would like to think not, but here you are.
Did I walk into something?
Yeah, I'm picking out somebody's soul to sell to a device, so that thing can work.
He points at the mason jar.
Didn't know we were there in the conversation. Is this somebody that you'd like for the jar? For this device?
Who's saying that?
The White Wolf. Fane.
White Wolf.
It had crossed my mind, but based off what I know, I don't even know if they have a soul. Do you have a soul?
I just turned to her.
She kind of just... I think so.
So many more questions now. Dang it, Jamie! I'm about to have to make checklist 3.0.
Are you aware what happens to the body after the soul is stripped from a mother to create an on Sunday?
Nope. But you're probably going to tell me.
Do you want to know?
I'm always curious. That's why I'm going to die one day.
I'm sorry, I can just imagine like just a little side eye just go to freaking Serenity.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't give a side eye. Like he knows that the implication reached her.
Yeah. He kind of says, "Are you familiar with what a miscarriage is, or stillborn?"
Am I familiar with? I'm sorry, I just couldn't understand it fully.
What a miscarriage is, or a stillborn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The body still grows inside the mother. But when born, the baby comes out decayed, disgusting, putrid, and generally emitting a few cases, the mother dies. You know, I happened to be one of those. Before you stands a soulless individual. Isn't that odd?
Oh.
Some people find it fancy, others don't.
I've seen a lot. Let's just say you're the second soulless individual I've seen.
Really? Interesting. Who else?
The first one had a cross dropped on them.
What?
You heard me.
A cross. So they're
Kind of
dead.
weird.
They're dead.
Oh, they are now.
Was it this insignia?
At one time. You know, it's really strange because no god uses a cross, so it's like I don't even know who to attribute it to.
No, I'm kidding. He doesn't.
Yeah, there's a very odd symbol in
You know,
Kingdom.
you know what? He actually just says it. You know what? He just commits it to it, right?
It's just so random and everywhere. But yeah, that's how they died.
He looks above. He just like almost like, not like threateningly, but just thinking about how Insignia died, just kind of glances above the White Wolf for a moment, like, is there like a cross, like, etching above him or anything?
There is no cross above me, don't worry. Nor you either. So, I'm starting to lose my patience. Are you going to sacrifice your soul or not?
What was Saria's daughter's name?
Serenity.
I didn't get you. Serenity. Gosh, yeah, Serenity. Who else is alive, though? I'm sorry. Just to recap, for my sake. So, soul doesn't have to have a body. It just has to be a soul. The body does and doesn't have to be here? Because that's what I got out of that. That, like, technically the body would make it easier.
Yeah, easier, but it doesn't need to be.
But it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
And lastly, it's got to be on Calanthum.
Well, for him to do it, like, it doesn't. They need to be given to him, like, in the same room.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So how does that? So if the soul's not in the room, you can't give it.
You have to go get
But the soul. So you have to walk out and be like, just 1 minute, and then come back.
Yeah. But see the irony in that, though.
That makes more sense now.
But do you see the irony in that, though? He doesn't like seeing people twice.
He doesn't like seeing people twice. So if you have to leave and go grab a soul, then you're not getting anything.
You're not getting anything.
Right. You're just leaving, you're grabbing someone, bringing them back to get denied at the door, and then...
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think of it, Serenity?
Can't be that bad, right? What? Am I still gonna be alive? Conscious? In there?
As a cross drops on you.
She looks up. I don't think your cross is gonna fall on me. Do you want the cross to fall on you? Oh, no, he doesn't say that, but...
I am...
So anyways...
I want the lore reason, Jamie, right? I want the lore reason, eventually. Why a cross dropped on Insignia, right? Is the cross the sign of the ephemeral? Is that what it is? The ephemeral was like, yo, I got the part out of there that I needed out of there. Now I'm just gonna crush the body and just drop the cross on it. Let me show them I'm going to return. And drops a cross and everyone's like, what does this mean? Dang it, man! It's been too long. They forgot my sign, the cross, the sign of the cross.
So, anyways, I guess.
Dude, Calanthum's weird. The Antichrist is represented by the cross. Dude.
Isn't the Antichrist supposed to be somebody who like everybody likes though? So like even including Christians. So like, there's a possibility where it could just be like, "Hey, look at that! I'm the second coming of Christ."
What?
You know?
What?
How, like...
Well, that's the whole point of this. You know, test your prophets, right?
Yeah.
That's. Wow, we've gotten really biblical in Calanthum. Like, I don't get it, Jamie.
It was all intentional.
The symbolism is going way over your and my head.
All of our heads.
Everyone except DJ. He knew.
He knew,
and he never told us. He didn't even tell you. He didn't tell you about your lore, Jamie.
Usually it's
the moon.
telling me about you.
I'm telling you. Yeah, me and DJ are really the ones writing your campaign now. I could just say anything and it becomes canon at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, you really can. I can ask you, like, hey, what was, like, the second monolith's person again? And you'd be like,
dude,
Gigalder? And it's like, oh, yeah, right.
it was a silver dragon, known as Kanska. Yeah, you might remember, she was Lexi's mom. Mind blown.
The connections. Anyways.
We're overlapping too many campaigns.
Anyways, Serenity...
DJ's the DM. Alright, Jamie, you're the DM of the session now. We're gonna have to get DJ in here soon, because he's the actual writer of your world now.
Oh, Lord.
Soon the tables will reverse, and I'll be the DM in our one-on-ones in your world.
Secretly, DJ has been writing my campaign.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. Yeah. Man, you really gotta fix those typos at some point.
Oh yeah, my bad. Anyway, Serenity's like, I mean, no.
No to what?
I don't want to. The White Wolf looks at you. Her opinion really doesn't really need to matter as long as you just say it.
Yeah. I'm aware.
In his own head, he just thinks, it's time to go back to being the monster.
I offer up Serenity.
Her face just drops. Huh? Wait. What? So, no matter if I came with you, you're gonna do this to me?
If you didn't come, I was gonna pick someone else down there.
I came because I trusted you not to do this. Crimson, the tiefling.
He can't, Thrick can't bring his eyes to her. Not even close. Crimson, it's like, it's literally killing him. I've got so many new thoughts going through my head right now. Oh gosh. Oh, gee.
You said you were a nice kobold.
Is it too late? It's too late.
It's too late.
It's way too late.
Crimson
it's fine.
Stands, grabs her hand, and starts walking away, seemingly down a hall that never existed.
Thrick waits till it's like the last possible second and just looks up at the final moment.
They pass through a dark threshold. She looks back. Serenity looks back. Crimson doesn't.
If Serenity looks back, in Thrick's eyes, it is just... It's immense regret.
You just see fear. And sadness. But nothing... But it's not betrayal or hatred towards you. She doesn't feel hurt by that. She just feels sad that it happened. And you see, like, there's a well of tears as she disappears into the dark.
Thrick's having a really hard time holding back his own.
The White Wolf says, they have 12 hours. No matter what, her soul is committed. It is just to see how strong Serenity is. If she doesn't pass that test in there, she's gone. She comes out. She passes whatever Crimson offers to her. And their soul will be put into that.
I can't see you twice, so... You want to sit here and have tea?
No. You can go have tea with whoever you like down there, but I have other business to attend to.
How do I get it then?
Jamie just had no idea what you just said. So I heard.
How do I get it then?
Okay, sorry, I just did not process what you just said.
Trying to skipping like a few lines, like just trying to like make the conversation efficient.
Just sit at the booth and wait
For 12 hours.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
Good luck. And thank you.
I don't believe in luck.
He stands up.
You immediately appear down in the pit.
There's no booths down here, right? Please tell me there's no booths down here.
No, it's up in the.
Thank God. He leaves.
Regal Dream, yeah.
He leaves immediately.
Yeah.
He goes up to the Regal Dream and just finds a booth. Preferably an empty booth.
Yeah. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
Preferably an empty booth.
A little more crowded.
And he reaches up and like, I always just have seen this thing, I've talked about like when you like put your like head down, like, we do it like this. I always imagine, at least for Thrick, that he like reaches up to grab like where his horns would be.
Yeah.
And just like, for like 15 minutes, it's just there in numbness. Unless you have something to narrate.
I do.
This.
Yeah, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
It's almost like the hallucinogenics sort of like subsided when you entered into that booth. Wait, not that booth. That glass thing up there. But of course, afterward, you're immediately hit with that. It's not like smoke. It's not smoke. That's what I'm trying to say. It's more of a mist. A heavy one. Creating this kind of weird humidity, making everything kind of damp and have that layer of like water on everything. So it's a little uncomfortable. But of course, if you're high, you don't really care about that. You reach around and grab what's left of your horns.
Stump.
Yeah, and the little bolt thing that's out, right?
Oh, they're not there anymore.
Were they were given to Inverna, right?
Yeah, I gave them to Inverna.
Okay, so I just
There's no bolts. There's no nothing. There's not even like a blank. You know, like with a piercing, you have like a thing that you fill it with. There's not even those, right?
Yeah.
You might get an infection.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
You feel the stump, essentially.
He like also like runs his hands and feels the holes on them.
Your immediate thought is what if Alistair would have thought about that.
Yeah. He brings a hand down and taps where the knife is.
Mm-hmm.
Just pulls the hand back and just Oh, I feel so. I feel horrible.
You
Frick
hear,
feels even worse.
you feel, you hear like echoes in like this weird haze. You speak about it sometimes where it's like that weird line between unconscious and conscious as you're falling asleep.
Mhm.
It's just like this weird, like dreamlike haze. And in it, that 15 minutes goes by pretty fast. You're keeping your mind
Oh.
quite occupied with all the self-talk and just the thoughts. But this echoes in your mind. It was a late night. After the first couple days of building the second exo,
Oh.
he took you to his home, Alistair did, and showed you the Calanthum's Universe's version of the Pillars of Creation through a telescope. And as you were looking up, he started speaking. And you hear echoes of this. I'm gonna... That'd be too much work. Okay, here we go. You hear this. Okay. I can give you a transcript after if you'd like. But you've ripped into the designs of the gods, my friend. You've lived to tell your tale. I think this is the beginning to life, to love, to us as people. To think that a ragtag group of broken people were able to steal the heart of an old rotten soul like mine and save Calanthum is unheard of to me. See, our universe expands into that deep dark, to that vast unknown, and we as people follow behind in its wake, blazing a trail of newfound knowledge and understanding. Hope is somewhere out there for all of you. He looks down from the stars and down to you. Love is too. That's where you're going. This is where it starts to deviate from what happened. I don't think you're going up there to search for Valen. I don't think you're even going up there for Eris. I think you're blasting into the future. For yourself. To find some ethereal purpose beyond the savior, the saving of souls. You can spread love, sure. But there's something more out there, friend. Kind of gives you like a side hug. Like pulls you in a little closer. You're going through hardships. Into the stars. Together with the people you love. He kind of just gives it like a little... You see a single tear run down his cheek and land just on the tip of your snout. And that's the end of that. You start understanding. Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
I was gonna say some degree of calm kind of return. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
Okay.
What I have to say might be a little. You'll see.
Okay.
It's something I've been thinking of for a while, though.
About to sneeze, dude.
Yeah.
You start to realize that these hallucinogenic, these hallucinations aren't nart.
Narcotics.
They're not.
Narcotics.
They're not like a trip of like psychedelic. Like whoa, dude.
Mm.
It's more like reliving and a retelling of moments that your subconscious deems fruitful, important, harmful. So these people aren't tripping out on drugs, they're tripping out on life, bro. Essentially.
Yeah.
Their life.
Frick doesn't know if he can resist it, but he tries to. And in that, if you're done
Yeah.
for the moment, he tries to clear his head because he wants to be present.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to find himself falling back into a different point. He also wants clear-mindedness. Is that waiter around? Or does it seem like there's a way to call them? If he just says waiter.
It'll appear, yeah. The elf will appear, yeah. Can I help you, sir?
Would it be possible to ask for paper?
To write on.
To write on, yeah.
And would you like a utensil with that?
No, that won't be necessary.
Paper appears. Maybe like 5 sheets.
Thank you.
Gives a similar gesture with his hand and disappears.
Rick, slowly, like he was like, he's like beginning to like shake with emotion through it,
Mm-hmm.
And got like very close to throwing up.
Mm-hmm.
And then that occurs, and he kind of realizes what the drugs or magic or whatever this place is doing. He realizes what it's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And while it makes him feel better, he doesn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not entirely. And now switching to Draconic, at least for the title of these few little sheets he's writing. He just starts by, labeling it. No more weapons. And an academic paper, how it has a link at the start of it where it kind of explains what the paper is for and the purpose is, right?
Like a preface.
In almost, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the almost a similar language almost to academic writing, but now in his calligraphy with his fingies.
It's thingy. Yeah.
He writes out almost. Gosh, it's like that not preamble. What is it you said?
Preface.
Preface. That preface. No, that's not the term.
Prologue.
There's a different. No. What is it?
Forward. Prelude.
No, it's like I have a file. Give me a second. That sounds really insane. I have a file on. I have an app. I have a 118-page academic paper on the sentience of crabs and octopuses. Give me a second.
Okay.
I realize that doesn't clear anything up, but trust me, I know what I'm doing. Gosh, I don't remember the thing. Frick. Okay. I'll find it later and get the specific term. But that initial part, right, that outlines what the intent and the objectives of the paper are,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he, using a very similar language to that, writes, it's an apology without saying sorry,
Okay.
almost. It's a looking back on everything he has made, what he's done with his hands,
Mm-hmm.
and in you know it recounts the use and disuse of inventions. You know, what has he really produced in his time as someone who would consider themselves to some degree an academic, and what he's produced is weapons,
Mm-hmm.
right? Weapons of war. He's not produced anything new, but he has given significant effect to the technology he has at hand. And what it is just it's like the in summary to even just this preamble,
Mm-hmm.
which reaches for 2-3 double-sided pages. The in summary comes down to, I can no longer go on taking such actions without guided counsel.
Mm.
That's kind of what it comes down to, right? It's almost like all right, let's put down what has been seen as neutral down and really analyze it.
Mm-hmm.
And then as he finishes that, all right. Begins working on oh gosh, I keep getting it and losing it in like the same thought
Mm-hmm.
train of thought. Crap. Actually, no, he gets to the end of that. He doesn't feel any better.
Mm-hmm.
He just feels like he's done something and distracted himself for what was probably not very long. And remembers Eartham's earpiece.
Mm-hmm.
And holds it up to his ear and says, "Can you hear me?"
Silence for a good 30 seconds. What do you need?
You have a second to talk. You have a second to talk. Don't worry, I'm not going to bore you. I'm actually here too. tell you something you already know. But I'm sure you'll like it.
Kid's gone, huh?
Yeah.
I'm indifferent.
Magic's useless. You're right. Science and technology is the only worthwhile advancement.
You're still there. Right.
Yes.
Are you in Corsair or the Regal Dream?
Here we go.
Okay. Just wait. And you hear the connection just drop.
Rick thinks to himself he's either coming here or he's doing something else, and he just pockets the device again.
Heels from a leather boot. Like I'm talking like woman's heels.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of hit the ground in a light fashion, but in a very controlled and elegant way. You hear that first. Second, you hear the rattling of two rapiers in their sheath. And from the corner of the booth turns a pale blue brunette elf standing around 5'2" in rather strange garb. Like, I'm talking like leather, kind of like, she almost looks like a female pirate.
Okay.
She has a mask over her face, like one of those like scarves almost. Her hair is in a tight 2 braids down her back. She leans one hand on the booth, lowers her scarf, and it's Laurelin, but she has a terrible scar that runs down from her cheek. Of course, more prominent scar runs down from her cheek down her lips and the neck.
It took me a second there to remember
Yeah.
why you had to say more prominent. Dirk looks up.
Hey there.
You look like crap.
You do too. Do you mind if I sit?
Please.
She kind of like furls her coattails up a bit and sits down. She's not lost any bit of her royalty as she sits down.
Does she look like she's maybe not enjoying life, but does she look happier? Almost sounds like she's some sort of way.
She looks freed. Whatever that entails, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I need to say this, but you hear it a lot, but really, you are a hard person to find.
Rick just actually starts laughing.
Yeah.
In one day, 4 people have said this to me.
I know, because it's true, is it not?
I'm from a week in the future. I don't
I
know if that
know.
makes today the same day.
I know.
What about you?
Because I saw the manifest on the ship. And thus here you are. Sorry?
He said, "What about you?"
Been around. Yeah, just doing things. Thought I'd come say hi. Because I missed you. Since you guys were off on the ship. Not like I longed to see you again. Well, I did, but it was more like I literally couldn't see you before you left. So here I am. Hi.
I
I got new rapiers.
can see.
I know.
Look nice.
I know. Isn't that really cool? You look
It's
worse than usual. Are you like okay?
Are you here because of Aeritham? Or is this just
I-
convenient timing?
I just came from Marathon, if that's something you're interested
Ah.
in.
Okay. I just was curious. Yeah, I look worse than usual. Do you know why?
No? Should I ask?
I feel like I should tell. You shouldn't have to ask. Because I feel horrible. I've betrayed myself. I've just betrayed the new friend and the literal god of death.
Bezeria?
Yeah, she has a daughter, you know.
News to me.
Her name is Serenity.
That is a beautiful name.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know, I'm trying to get back to when I left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does magic come with a price?
Why?
Yeah. Because it seems like I hate magic. I hate the state of how it's used. That give and take. If you work within technology, all you're giving is this energy and material, and you're getting what you need out of it. It's a slower development, but it doesn't take like magic does.
Hmm. You know what I always told Eris? Actually, she went through something similar when she was, in those teenage years.
Wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago. I
Keep
actually
slipping.
always, of course, in retrospect, it wasn't necessarily the nicest thing to say, but I always saw it as a growth. This world is just growing. Give a kid a gun, they're gonna shoot somebody. People use magic in its most easy way, and that is not always the most pure. The less consistent, the more pure, the more reliable, generally tends to be a little more vile.
Having a soul.
Yeah. It's ease. It's easier to lash out at anger at somebody than it is to love them for who they are. You know that. Guess it's just the way we find ourselves.
What do you think about undoing wrongs? I mean, not just wrongs, undoing work.
Like destroying a particular creation,
Not just destroying it,
or go in the opposite direction?
disassembling it, giving it new life, or the same life back that it had before. Unexploding a stick of dynamite.
That is something I always had trouble with. That in particular. I know my accent for Laurelyn has just changed like 8 trillion times. I've forgotten what her accent was, and I'm just trying to go through all of them to see which feels right. And I think I just landed on the one that I used at the very start of the campaign.
That's season 3, right, is the season of everyone is the same but with new. That's fine. Aerith and Maria, Lori now.
Yeah. Entropy, of course. I learned about it in wizarding school. But sometimes things aren't just meant to, they have a forward process. Sometimes things aren't meant to be reversed. I mean, they can be, but the original intent never leaves. You just gotta learn to live with it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Was Serenity nice?
Yeah. I think she was a projection of something from her mother. I don't really know much about her. I didn't speak that long. She heard me speak for a long time. I had a conversation. I had a thesis defense with Eritham. And she overheard it, and she didn't speak long, though. I like the new death. I feel horrible for what I've done.
I had a baby in the time that we've been apart. Weird, I know.
He thinks over it in terms of months. Did elves have a similar pregnancy term?
Elves? Normal elves?
Humans?
Normal elves? No.
No.
They have years of pregnancy.
So they're kind of it's a very obvious the brow. Okay, it's already furrowed because he's in incredible mental turmoil, right? But then it furrows just the extra 2 millimeters as he starts doing math, and then just kind of looks at her. Adopted?
No.
It's been less than a month.
Yeah.
Have you... Are you running from the time cops now, then?
No. 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 No.
Then color me very confused. Or is it somebody else's child?
No, it's not somebody else's child. Well... Considered a shadow of my former self. Something that has caught up to me at this moment.
Hmm.
She pulls out a small folded piece of paper and slides it to you. It's a drawing, portrait of a baby.
Huh. So it's a real elf child. It's not.
It's a real cute one.
Okay.
It's chubby.
He's
It's
just-
small.
It's
not an elf.
It's a baby. You have terminal baby disease.
It's not an elf.
It's not an elf.
No. Look, it appears human. I think you're smart enough to understand that me and Harga couldn't, conceive, so he brought up the option of an Sunday. It was a while ago. I regret it, but they're here now. And it's funny that you say their name is Serenity, because that's her name. Someday you should meet her.
Yeah. Congratulations. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, congratulations.
But I do have something to say to you, though.
At every moment
Mhm.
in his head, he's just like, you're such a hypocrite. You're the worst scum of Calanthum. And especially speaking to this person, you've undone anything you could have ever been. This is like, he's got such a like, all of those implications, maybe not in words themselves, but the weight of the weight of it bears like harder with every word. He's just waiting for Laurelin to just, brandish a blade and, add a 5th level smite to it and just end him with words. Right? Like he's like ready for it, and he almost wants it to just cut the tension to just end him.
Yeah. So that
Right.
extra I have something to tell you is like,
It's like, gosh, please just kill me.
yeah.
Matter of fact, I will bend my head down and let you cut it off, please.
I think
I would let you. I would let you do that if I didn't have to try and save what's left of the world or the universe. Or
she sort of just looks at you and she says, I think I may have caught you at a really good time. A really good time, actually. Which is very strange, considering the circumstance, but I'll get to my main point later, but while I'm here in front of you, really. She had no choice in the matter, did she?
Nope.
I mean, you've done the same thing.
he looks up.
Except I did it to my sister. For some odd reason, it was always stated that the people who the monoliths represented were chosen by one person. Each monolith were actually chosen by people closest to the ones represented by the monoliths. For me, it was Tia. I can't imagine who chose the Oracle. For Zephyr, I'm pretty sure it was Charlie. Not Charlie.
Charlie?
What the heck did I name the character, dude? Not Charlie.
Queen
not
Glass?
No.
Ronan?
No, no.
Elder?
No.
I'm very confused.
I'm confusing myself.
What's a Charlie and why is it replicating Mulan?
Ivy. Zephyr's confidant. Partner. Wife? Girlfriend? I don't know that story too well.
Ivy was the soldier from that story, right?
Mel? No clue. But I have a theory about the last ones.
Yeah, dragon, and then the one that showed us ourselves. Or some facsimile within our minds.
I think you chose for the last monoliths.
Yeah.
But I did choose Tia. I didn't know she would be taken from me so fast, from this world so fast, in the way that it did. But I knew something was going to happen. And I did it anyways. Whether it was because I wanted to be queen so badly, I was jealous of her, or maybe because it felt right. But not a day went by, I felt the same thing you are probably feeling. So, I guess I just wanted to say that I understand.
They're just like really like just puts his head on like the edge of the table, like forehead on the edge of the table, and just kind of like rests there for a second, for a moment, for a whole minute.
Around toward the end of the minute, she says, but who still saw the light within me, even when I couldn't myself?
He reaches up and like covers his head. It's like he's trying to hide from her. He's trying to hide from her. He's trying to hide from himself. He's trying to just hide from reality, even though he can't.
I have two reasons why I came to see you. Well, three, but we don't need to see that one. First one.
He lifts his head up and just kind of like, he sits a little low. He kind of just sits like chin on the table and just does like the arms like like kind of like, I'm still dying, but I'm gonna try and give you attention. The attention you deserve while you speak to me.
I've been looking for Eris, actually. Is there any insight that you can tell me about her?
Yeah. She'd love to see you, and you familiar with what a parsec is?
Oh no, I'm aware she's on that ship, but
Yeah.
I've been to that ship and I have not found her.
What? Wait, have you been to the ship now?
I just came from there. Yeah.
He's trying to recount, where would they be on the ship right now?
Not from the time I think you're thinking of. I went up there with you,
Yes.
but not on the blade. In fact, I actually went up in a frigate. I went up in a frigate.
Frigid
Frigate. I went up in a frigate. Not with the Killian, the fleet, no. By the time I located, after completing other objectives, I located the blade, and Eris wasn't there.
I just want to clarify. Temporally, did you check in the now?
I'm not looking for her in the now.
You're looking for her in a week?
Something went wrong with that portal. Or whatever that was. The thing that you're trying to build now. Something went wrong with that. I think Eris got a little too overzealous.
He takes like one of the remaining sheets of paper he has. He takes one and covers his little preamble thesis.
Yeah.
And he takes the other and cuts it into 3 separate sheets. And now is where we do something fun, because I have index cards.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So he tears it into 3, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this so we have a full 3D representation of what happened up there, so it's clear for both of us, and for Laurelin. What?
That's amazing. That's amazing.
It's gone now.
I love it when hair does that, dude.
I just realized he then proceeds to cut it actually into 5 pieces, because that's what we need.
Okay.
Are you vaguely familiar with what a 4th dimensional reality looks like?
Yeah, kind of.
Good. I need more colors.
I say that to myself, not him. He's got like all of the colors of the rainbow, and then 3 you can't think of in the rainbow.
Alright. Red.
I'm actually gonna do this, right? We're gonna have a full representation now.
Okay.
Right? I'm drawing portals.
Uh-huh.
Now you're thinking with portals.
Okay.
So he takes two pieces of paper, right? On one side of each is red.
Mm-hmm.
On one side of each is
I'll just do this in character.
one side of each is red. On the other side of each is blue. This is where it gets a little complicated. Blue does not lead to red. Red leads to red. So looking through the red portal, you see out the other side, right? So this is now. This is now.
Crap.
This is now. And this is then.
I just imagine Thrick just pulling
Yeah.
Laurelyn's head down.
Morpher grabs Laurelyn and pulls her down to his height, right?
Red can only see red. And blue can only see blue. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
So, looking through red, I can only look up through a red. And see red. Well, no. It inverts. So if I look up through the red of the bottom, I can only see the red on top. And I look through red to blue. So red to red to red to blue. Anyone on the other timeline would look up through blue and see red, because the time is consistent. But what the portal does is inverts it. So when I looked up from now into then, I saw up. And when they saw from there, now, from there, from then, into now, all they saw was up. So if Eris came through, she didn't make it all the way. And I couldn't have kept an eye on her even if I wanted to, which I did. I felt very alone on that ship.
That's an accurate representation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We now have it official.
I wanted to know, I cannot get her accent. I wanted to know before jumping in and never coming out, I suppose.
Is that what you did?
Mm-hmm.
What?
One second. I want to pin these. I have a corkboard up here.
Yeah.
In case we have to do this again. Actually, better yet, when we have to do this again.
Yeah.
Thrick even like tucks them away neatly, right? Like cut, they're nice clean cuts with his claws, packs them up neatly, and puts them in a pocket.
Mhm.
No, actually, he throws them in his
Ah, I see. Yeah.
Alright,
Alright, there we go. So you're telling me there was a midpoint through the portals and not just a narrow lens?
No. I want to know why she didn't go through all the way. I know she didn't run out of time.
This is what we think the portals are like. This is what...
no, I'm screwing it.
She didn't go through all the way. And I want to know why. Because I know she just wouldn't abandon you.
Yeah. You want to guess?
No?
That's fair.
But shoot, what do you think is there?
Time as we know it
What,
is
so
two-dimensional.
she's
Is two-dimensional.
I thought you were just about to explain how she's Eowyn or something.
Who's Eowyn?
Never mind.
No. What? Never mind. Whatever. Time as we know it, supposedly, is two-dimensional, not one-dimensional. One would delineate forward and backward movement on a singular timeline. Two-dimensional is branching. It means multiple timelines. What Ertham has done is, I believe, just slid us back across one dimension. But possibly, we do know there are other timelines. I know there are other timelines.
He just like remembers all of the things he's done.
We might have even made an alternate timeline, or jumped one. The party. Eris might have. So that's one dimension. And like with volumetric dimensions, it goes from 1, gets squared. In theory, you could cube it. If you can't find her here or in a different timeline, there could be a multiverse. Which is not just...
That's a lot of looking.
That's a... yeah. I've just told you that infinity exists. Infinity squared exists. And infinity cube exists. Potentially. Theoretically.
That's fine. I have time.
Looking at her, is she still clearly have elven features?
Yeah.
Okay. She's got time.
She's got time.
Just whisper it to yourself. Believe it to be true.
She's got time. She's got time.
When was the last time I saw you, anyways?
For me...
Gosh, wait. When was the last time we saw each other? It was before the mist, right?
Yeah.
It was even before the mist. What happened before the mist?
The dungeon.
They traveled from the beach.
Oh, yeah, no. Last time you saw her was in the dungeon. In Mel's dungeon.
It's Mel's dungeon. Mel's mind palace.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah. Been over a month at least. Is it different for you? You seem to be doing a bit of jumping.
Yeah. Trying to connect the dots on something.
What of?
I don't know.
I've got a question for you.
Hmm.
Rhythm's the one that thought of it first, so I'll make sure to do that due diligence and tell you that.
Thank you.
But
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He crushes the comm device.
I'm just kidding.
No.
but I'm inclined to believe he's right. I don't like taking firm stances. I don't have enough evidence. Not enough hard evidence. But there's a solid chance Mios doesn't exist.
That is a far-out conspiracy?
Maybe. I hope. But too many things don't add up. Have you heard of the ephemeral?
Does it go by any other names?
If I could hazard a guess, Ignorus?
Ronan spoke about it a couple times, yeah.
Well, Mel believes he's brought it about. Somehow. I don't quite understand yet. He says it's never existed here, but how it exists then, where I came from. He believes it can end all of reality.
How?
Don't know. But he seems convinced that it'll reset everything. Not just a reset, bring an ultimate end. It's I'll save that for later. But when you add up all the puzzle pieces, it looks the only thing that could have stopped it was Tiamat. And who dealt with Tiamat? And all of the figures who died. Death again.
Gosh, I'm trying. There was Garwin, and then there was the other dude,
Baylor.
other tree boy. Who?
Baylor.
Baylor, Bylar, Vylar. Baylor, Mylar. Taylor.
Bylar.
This
Dying.
can't be it. Okay. Okay.
No, I don't think everything adds up. So it's just a theory. Not one either of us have fully been able to check, but I just wanted to tip you off,
Okay.
if possible. And it was released onto that ship I just came from a week in the future. Supposedly the thing we are building now has multiple uses, but one of them could be a conduit.
Okay. Okay. I will take this knowledge. And I'll tell Ares you said hi.
Thanks.
Yeah, one more thing. I took a while to get here. Multiple days, in fact, traveling from. Honestly, just meeting extended family deeper in the woods. I passed by a couple places on the way here, and I thought it could be appropriate to bring this to your attention. You can deny it if you'd like. It's not a necessary conviction. But I wanted to actually go on a sort of pilgrimage of sorts across the journey of where the painfully is traveled. And I stopped in a location and found a certain individual. You can tell she's a little awkward talking about this.
Okay.
I found a certain individual that I thought, I mean, it aligned pretty well. That you were here, and certain somebody is here as well, but I met this individual, it's a tiefling. You know, pardon me, and she just kind of, like, looks out the booth, and she, like, you know, waves her hands just a little bit.
Rick is very confused. He's trying to think of tieflings he might know.
Yeah. And sits down is, like, this 6'3", really,
Everyone's 6 foot something.
Really heckin'. He's like toned, but he's like a skinny tone. His forearms look decayed. Well, his hands and arms look decayed. He's wearing a flowy kind of cloak that is very flamboyant.
Volley.
And his arms are covered in tattoos of roses, and he kind of just sits down, and all you smell is just drugs. It's a tiefling in their 20s. Long, dark red hair. Kind of really messy, and it has, like, leaves and stuff stuck in it.
Okay.
And he has one really long gold earring that just kind of rests on the shoulder. And she kind of, like, scoots aside. But, like, not a lot.
I don't know what the implication of that is.
So when he sits down, he puts the arm around her, and she kind of, like, leans into him a little bit. She kind of looks really red. She turns red really fast. She turns red. But it's not like it's almost like an embarrassed kind of, like, Mom, Dad, here's my boyfriend, sort of embarrassed. But, like, yeah.
Dirk, like, puts a hand up over his mouth and is just like, it's so weird to go from, like, he's not out of the despair, but in the moment, at least, he's just He's got a really broad smile on. He's proud. He maybe doesn't quite get it, then kind of gets it a little more. Has a guess now.
He has a really long V-neck, and you can tell those rose tattoos just kind of like are all over the place.
Uh-huh. Is this who I think it is? I don't think that makes any sense timeline-wise, but I'm just curious. Does it bear any semblance? Or is it just convenient that it's a tiefling with rose tattoos?
Hello?
Hi.
Lori kind of just puts a hand on his chest, leans in, looks up to him with like it's so freaking strange to see Lori like that.
Yeah.
It literally gives him like puppy dog eyes almost.
Dick is confused but happy for her. Maybe?
Sorry.
Passive insight, they're girlfriend and boyfriend, right? I'm not very great at reading a situation, but
I mean, maybe, yeah.
maybe?
Yeah.
What if I rolled an active insight?
Maybe they're just like, you know, some people are like friends with benefits, sort of like they're like close.
Wow, okay.
But like they're
That's
not,
that's a
emotionally like there.
that's
you know?
a new look for Laurelin. Okay.
And
There just continues to be confused, but like starts chuckling, not chuckling to himself, just like it's like a weird like this is awkward, but she seems happy. And has the tiefling said anything? He said
hello.
hi, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I just needed one second.
Let's say
My name is Deus.
Deus.
Yeah.
Gosh, you have to give me a second to physically restrain myself from making a Deus Ex Machina joke.
Okay.
I got this. Patisse would totally say that joke, but I'm gonna restrain myself for once. Let's do this.
Pleasure to meet you, Deus.
He extends a hand for a handshake, if he can move his arms.
Oh yeah, no, he does. He shakes
Okay,
your hand.
cool.
They feel like normal hands, but they look disgusting.
Okay.
I'm Dirk. Dirk Homanaki.
Deus Nicotina. Nice to meet you. She tell you why I'm here?
Not at all.
Well,
She mentioned she met you in a village. Wow.
not a village.
What'd she say then? Was it a village? Was it a city?
It was just a place. She didn't really specify.
You mentioned she met you at a place.
Places. Yeah. Do you know Desolation?
That's top left? Wait. Where is that?
Like
I know it's on
smack in the middle.
Stateria,
Smack
right?
in the middle.
It's Desolation. Oh, right above that lake, I think?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been there before, though.
You would know that that's where the Painful got sent off by Vylar. Because Vylar was living in his old castle.
Where,
That was the Janthu family home, right?
Yeah,
the Janthu family home.
yeah. Mm, yeah. Yeah, I'm here, I don't know how to really explain this. I'm not from here.
It's got a lot of meanings right now.
I'm,
Temporally, dimensionally. multi-dimensionally.
I think I'm 100 or so years ahead of where I'm supposed to be.
Was that all?
I go by Fear. If that kind of
Do I? Would I know who Fear is? Vaguely?
one or two mentionings in the memoir of Tia.
It was like, what would those mentionings be? He was like, there was this dude who led a rebellion that nearly killed Vylar.
It was more like
back-
in relation to Cat. More in relation
Oh,
to Cat's dad.
Cat.
Yeah.
Oh, Cat's father. Gosh.
Mhm.
Wouldn't he be a lot older, though, than this?
He was around 50-ish during the Painful Eight.
And this looks like someone in their 20s.
Yeah.
Okay, he's still gonna say Catherine's father?
Right. Temporal difference.
That little girl.
Painful 8.
Yeah. I believe that was, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't know who she is, though.
Never met her, no. Know of her.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right, to the point. My sister is here? Like, in this establishment.
Okay.
I don't think there's many tiefling around.
What's her name?
I think she changed it. But her name was, Jamie has forgotten. Jamie has forgotten.
I mean, I've only seen one other tiefling in here. Would it make a difference, red versus purple in your world? Or can...
No, it doesn't matter.
it can just be... Skin color can be random like that?
Yeah, it can. But there's, like...
Random.
There's reasons why that is, which
Okay.
I can put on my to-do list. Her name's Angel.
Doesn't ring a bell. I did spot a tiefling, though.
You did.
They're occupied with a task at the moment.
Well, can you point me out?
Yeah, the
Gestures over to the curtain.
stairs on the left. Knock on the door. Passwords. Eva.
I just go in.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Why?
There's a individual in there.
White Wolf, right?
Mm-hmm.
White Wolf, I've just done some business with that I regret immensely. If you think you can catch her at a different time or outside there, that might be better.
Nah, I'm gonna go now. And he just gets up. he kind of hand on the hilt of his rapier, and he just starts walking towards the curtains.
We're on the second story
Mm-hmm.
right now, right?
Yeah.
Wait, Fear.
What's Laurelin estate right now? Just still dreamy-eyed looking at him, or...
No, she's just kind of like... She's just doing Fear things.
Okay.
She sings. The tiefling that's here.
That's why they called her Angel. And he turns around and...
She goes by Crimson now. As far as I can tell.
And still facing away, he says, She's being held captive.
I can't entirely tell.
Well, we'll find out. He slowly withdraws his rapier and just moves the curtain aside and just walks down.
Turk looks over at Laurelin.
Should we be following him?
Huh? Yeah. Probably, I think.
Turk.
Alright, let's go.
He gets up and starts following her.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
If I don't follow him, what do you think's gonna happen? Scale 1 to 10. I don't want to be responsible for screwing up a timeline. If he is supposed to go back.
Well, his whole reason he's here is... Well, he doesn't know why he's here, but... He's just trying to find his sister.
That's it.
Yeah.
But how could he be 50 from back then and also 20 now? He's got to go back, right?
He's gotta go back. God, is Aowen slacking? What's going on?
Who is Eowyn? Is that the time cops?
Yeah.
Probably.
This is not like her.
Who? Do you know her? Clearly you've been messing with the timeline. Clearly I have messed with the timeline. Eris, for God's sake, has messed with the timeline.
And nothing's happened.
Yeah.
Isn't that a little worrying?
Yes. Gosh, you don't have no idea how badly I want a divine retribution to smite me down, right? For multiple reasons. But I want to see some evidence that something is happening. That has some guiding hand above us, but that's not going to happen. Because all we have is the here and now in the moment. So if Eowyn, this Eowyn you speak of, isn't going to do anything, then we have to do something.
He stands up.
We probably should go follow him.
It's good to see you again. She draws both of her rapiers and goes down as well.
He doesn't unsheath his dagger yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's kind of trying to avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you screwed up, and while you're not having to face the one person you wouldn't want to face more than any other, minimizing the contact with it is still... It's shame.
Mm-hmm.
But once they get to the door, he definitely unsheaths it.
You see that as you open the curtain, they're both not there. The door
What?
is open on the other side. On the bottom, the door is open. But they
It's
are
just
not.
open.
Yeah, they're not there.
Fear isn't.
Fear and Laurelin.
Laurelin. What the frick?
Do you descend?
Can I tell how long it's been? Never mind. I'll just go down.
Okay. You descend down, look up at that glass room thing. Looks like a very tense conversation is happening between Fear, Laurelin, and White Wolf. White Wolf is obviously, like, very laid back. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing here. Well, I know what you're doing here, but I hate the fact that you're here.
I have a ring of spell storing, Jamie.
Uh-huh.
And it has 3 spells in it, right? Because I can
Okay.
store 5 slots,
Yeah.
right? I threw a bless in there, right? Because I can't cast that much.
Mm-hmm.
And I threw 2 Misty Steps in there, and I've been sitting on them,
Okay.
right? Because my one ability to use Misty Step, I can only use once a day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use a stored Misty Step
Okay.
and teleport up there.
You
let me-
Uh-huh.
Let me make sure I can actually do that with that spell.
Okay.
Because if not, depending on how you rule it, would I be able to throw a dagger through the glass?
No.
Okay. I mean a psychic dagger. An unoccupied space that you can see, so through glass works,
Yeah.
assumedly.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So, ring of spell storing, just Misty Step and one bless. Okay. And he teleports up there.
Fear holds his rapier out at like the neck of White Wolf, and he's like, "Let me see her." He also seems very calm for this. Laurelin, she's kind of there. Honestly, she has her rapiers out, but she doesn't look necessarily that threatening at the moment. She just kind of is there. I'm gonna be honest. And you teleport into the room, and White Wolf is already looking at you as if he anticipated that. You coming there?
No, I'm kidding. Thick wouldn't do that.
Yeah. And he just kind of like, you again. What is my policy? You know it.
Thick glances at the sword. Then back at him. He doesn't answer.
I think that was quite enough of an answer.
That was an answer.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think this is the one I need to actually be afraid of.
And he says,
Maybe, but...
Fear says, "You're going to tell me now, or else you won't have a head to speak." And White Wolf is, "I dare you, please, entertain me." And there's like a very tense moment.
Rick takes a step away from Fear because he knows what the Painful 8 story said.
Fear kind of looks down at him for what seems like an eternity. Then you see one of his eyes just go pale white, and then the other one go pale black.
Fear? Oh my gosh, it happened again.
I'm about to beat up.
Alright, while you fix that, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick.
Okay. Oh, actually, hey, wait, come back. No.
Well,
Hello.
hi.
Hi.
White and black eye. Fear or White Wolf?
Fear.
Fear. Okay.
And you start to see the rot.
frick.
You see the rot in his arms start to go ever upward into his biceps, into his torso.
Scarlet Rot? Are we playing Elden Ring? Is this a Scarlet Rot build?
and
I'm sorry.
Elden Ring, the greatest game to ever exist.
Elden Ring? Greatest game? Wow! Oh my god!
The rapier starts. You see at the hilt of the rapier, like these two raven wings, like spread from it, and then out the bottom, a peacock, feather tail thing. And he says, "I am your last shadow." And he thrusts his sword. And that's where
What the frick, Jamie?
We're gonna end that session.
Batiste takes the dodge action. holds the dodge action. How about that?
It's gonna be a very hard fight at the beginning next session. I hope you understand that. If you choose to fight.
Fight who?
If you choose to do anything there, it's gonna be difficult.
I'm not trying to fight fear.
No, it's not gonna be fear.
Scarlet? Or Crimson or whatever the frick their name is?
The White Wolf, maybe, yeah.
White Wolf? He's... Gosh, okay. Whatever.
Mm.
I don't even know what to think. How do you spell Fear's name?
Well then Fear, and then his last name?
Is it Fear just like fear, like, I'm scared?
Yeah.
I am your last shadow, that's right. That's the phrasing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very pog.
Very pog.
Poggers.
Okay.